Motor Speedway. They're lean. They're mean. They're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone all around the world, and of course on the final night brings you a very exciting race where some good money is on the line. It's week number 2 of the Dagen Korynta Memorial, and it's the biggest race of the year for the Coast to Coast Racing League. Well, in terms of the Slide Job Racing Network, that's what I consider the biggest race of the year. It's the Coast to Coast 200 this year, taking place on the dirt with the big blocks at Oswego Speedway. So glad you could join us, the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Happy New Year, everyone. Marty Sakala with you. We're ready to go for an awesome night here at the Clay Palace. Let's break down the format on how things will work. Qualifying like normal for 2 minutes. Then we'll have our normal 8-lap heats that will set the lineup. 19 drivers here with us this evening. Our feature consists of 2 100-lap races. First feature will be the B main, which is 100 laps. There will then be a 10. There is also a 10-lap down grace period for the second half. So if you're up to 10 laps down behind, you will still be able to race in the second half. Caution laps will count, plus a lucky dog in progress. You have a maximum of 15x on the incident limit and 2 quick repairs. Of course, the top 5 pay out. With that, qualifying is underway here at the Oswego Speedway. First driver we'll watch, the driver of the number 4. Got his first televised win in Coast to Coast on Monday night. Been a while, won at I-55. That's Slide Job Scott Rayome. Of course, Oswego Speedway, the home of Super Dirt Week and the Billy Whitaker Cars 200. And so with Oswego now being in the game, figured, you know what? Let's have ourselves a 200-lap event. First lap times go up on the board here as Scott Rion with an 18:52. Justin Haslett the quickest, 18:37. Clay Christopherson at the line goes quick, timing at 18:336. He's 300ths better than Justin Haslett in the 27. Haslett making his way off for turn number 4. Did he clip the wall, though, off the corner? And may have, but Scotty goes back up top, 18:30. Anthony Morano, though, quicker at an 18:156, a tenth better than Putt-Putt Clay Christopherson. As more drivers put up some laps here, Sam Bachman in the 007 across the start-finish line. A much better lap, too. Where's he go? Third quick at an 18:30, 18:297 to be specific. Here's Brian Dickens in the 122 off at turn number 4, a slower lap, 2. Here's Mason Hine in the number 89. 19:11 is his first lap time, currently 18th quickest. Let's see how his second lap time unfolds. Off the corner here at the line as Hine goes the 19:05. And so with that, qualifying is in the books. And we are ready to go here for heat races. Now, no inverts like in the past, like normally in coast-to-coast rules. All just regular heat races here, 8 laps. This will set the lineup up for our 200-lap feature. Heat 1 brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, proud partner of Venom Race, official team of the Coast-to-Coast Racing League. As Slide Job Scotty, Anthony Morano, on the pole position, the 32, Slide Job Scotty outside of row number 1. Row number 2, the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513 is actually on the outside of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row number 3, Randy Shreves in the 56, next to him, Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93. Called to start 7th, Gary Sigelcal, but it sounds like he is disconnected from the server. Winner starts on pole for our 200-lap feature. Again, all glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network and Slide Job Racing Network. If you're watching live, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Morano and Rion, the FTM teammates, bring us to green. Here we go for Heat 1. Good start for the Magic Ant-Man in the 32. Is able to clear Scott Rion. Randy in 3rd, Barker 4th, Shreves 5th, Butterfield 6th. Here comes the field off at turn number 4, lap number 1 at the line, led by the Magic Ant-Man. Field all pretty much single filed out here as the track will carry over throughout the course of the night. So the low line will be the place to be, but as this track starts to slicken up, oh boy, it could get interesting, that's for sure. Closest battle on track is the battle for 5th. Randy Shreves and Jason Butterfield. Butters at 93, trying to find his way and close in on the 56, but Barker's opened up the door for Randy Shreves. It's a 3-way battle for 4th off the corner as Shreves takes away the spot. Barker down to 5th. Jason Butterfield looks underneath. No yaw entering the corner. He gets a little bit tight. Barker has to push up just a little bit too. Right now it's still the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano out in front, leading by a half second on Scott Rion. These are fixed setups, by the way. It's the iRacing setup that's provided for Oswego with maximum fuel. That way the drivers can go a full 100 laps on a tank of fuel. If they have to save from time to time, they'll have to try and do that by utilizing the bottom and using less throttle. Joseph Grandy trying to catch up to Slide Job Scotty in the battle for 2nd. Gap is 0.4 of a second between the two. Two laps to go in heat race number 1. Also still have a good battle for 4th. Shreves Barker once again. Barker staying up tight behind that 56 on board with the man from Brewerton. Went in a little bit deep, nearly clips the Jersey barrier. White flag out on the final lap here for the Magic Ant-Man. Anthony Morano was the quickest in qualifying, and now from the looks of it will start on the pole position for the 200-lap feature. in the FTM 32, makes his way through turns number 3 and 4. Morano takes the win in heat race number 1 by just about a second. Rayoman second, Grandy third, Shreves fourth, Barker fifth, Butterfield sixth, and Sigelkow in seventh. Second heat race of the night brought to you by Regency Home Inspections. Here's how the field lines up as putt-putts on the pole. Clay Christopherson in the number 51. Next to him, Justin Hazlitt in the 27. Row number 2, Brian Dickens in the 122 and Bud Molyneux in the 883. The final row for heat race number 2, Kurt Schatzer in the 218 and Rick Main in the 187. Field putting in their final thoughts before they load up here for the one pace lap around the Clay Palace. First of 2 charity events here this evening, with the second race happening tomorrow night. That is taking place at Houston Speedway. And in Dagen Korynta Memorial Week, in 2023, over $1,000 was raised. Waiting to hear how much it'll be in the second half of Dagen Korynta Memorial Week. Of course, all proceeds benefiting Braden's hope to end childhood cancer. I believe someone in the chat that's got the email can put down where to donate through PayPal. But anyway, heat race number 2 underway at the Clay Palace. Good start from Christopherson in the number 51. Hazlitt behind him, running in P2. Side by side for third, Dickens and Molyneux. Opening lap, though, led by the 51. Hazlitt downstairs, looking for that race lead on putt-putt. He's got it. Schatzer, Molyneux racing for fourth. Near contact, no yaw. Up the hill goes the 883. Hangs on, goes down to 6th. And so Rick Main makes the way up to P5. Big onboard here with Christopherson off of turn number 2. Had some reports Brian Dickens may be having some connection issues in that number 122. As Christopherson follows Hazlitt. Remember, winner starts on the front row tonight. But Molyneux, you saw that 883 get a little bit sideways in the background. You see this track starting to slicken up again. Everything carrying over track-wise here tonight. Christopherson now searches for options, decides to see if the cushion's got something. It's got moisture in it, that's for sure, as no one really utilized the outside, but he just opened the door for Kurt Schatzer to take away the second spot on the 218. And maybe even Rick Main for third. This high side not where you want to be if you're putt-putt, as he drops down to fifth. Be trying to form it up maybe for one of his other teammates that's right in the next heat in just a little bit, but certainly does not have the pace for right now. Bud Molyneux challenging Rick Main for the third position. From the rear end of Main, as we're on the final lap here, coming through turns number 3 and 4. Justin Hazlitt won GT3s on Sunday night. Will start on the front row, win by 0.8 of a second. As Kurt Schatzer is second, Rick Main third, Bud Molyneux fourth, Clay Christopherson fifth, and Brian Dickens in 6th. One more heat race to go here, brought to you by Maurer Farm Management, proud partner of Steve Maurer and the entire Retreads division. On the pole once again is Sam Bachman. He's in the 007. Next to him, it's Dylan Kinsey. Kinsey in the 639. Row number 2, Butch Baker in the 97. And Mike Weida in the 81. Final row this evening, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. And Mason Hine in car 89. Winner starting inside of row number 2 for our 200 lap feature. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck on pit road. And once again, FTM teammates make up the front row. Green flag waves here. Bachman and Kinsey bring us to green. Good start here as the FTM teammates are side by side. Baker through to third, battle for fourth. Steve Bixler against Mike Weida, lap number 1 on the boards, and led by Bachman. Baker trying to show his nose low on the 639, but Kinsey gets there just in front. All around the bomb there, but Baker caught the Jersey barrier in turn 4, shot him up the racetrack. Mike Weida with a chance for P3. Weida in that number 81. Contact there for just a moment. Everybody keeps her straight. Weida up to third. Coming to the halfway mark this time by Bachman leading Kinsey. He was the quickest car last time by at an 18:55 compared to DK's 18:61. Back to the race for P3. A couple of drivers setting it in deep there in turn 3, trying to see how far they can go. Steve Bixler, one of them in the number 75. So we're halfway home in our final heat race of the night. Mason Hine riding up the caboose in the back of the pack. Once the track oh! Bachman caught the Jersey barrier. Up the track he goes. Did he do any damage with the left front? I don't think he did. Here comes Kinsey. They're side by side. But the 639 lets him go. Bachman hangs on, and a very close call for him. Yeah, even with all of that, Bachman lost a couple of tenths, but I think Kinsey let him in. I believe Kinsey gave him a chance there. Ooh, Weida, a little bit of contact from Butch Baker. The Regency 97 peeks underneath for third. But Weida slams the door right in his face on board with them. Yaws his way through 1 and 2. Baker trying to get the bite on corner exit. But meanwhile, through turns number 3 and 4, heat 3 goes to Sam Bachman. Kinsey finishes second. Weida in third. Baker fourth. Bixler fifth, and Hine sixth. And so with that, we are ready. Now, this is not a consolation. This is the beginning of the feature. The first set of 100 laps is set to go in the Coast to Coast 200. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup. On the pole, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32. Next to him, Justin Hazlitt in the 27. Row number 2, Sam Bachman in the 007 and Scott Rayome in the 4. Row 3, Kurt Chatzer, Superman the 218, and Dylan Kinsey in the 639. Row number 4, 100 grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518, and Rick Main in the 187. Rounding out the top 10 this evening, Mike Weida in the 81 and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row number 6 is Bud Molyneux in the 883 and Butch Baker in car 97. Row number 7. You've got the Brood to Beats, Jeff Barker in the 513 and Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51. Row number 8, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75 and and Jason Butterfield, Butters in the 93. Rounding out the field this evening, Brian Dickens in the 122, Mason High in the 89, Gary Sigelkow in the 25. No call for the 122 or the 25 to grid. Go one extra lap here before we go green for our 200 lap feature. There are only 3 200 lap big block modified features in the country. You've got the Fonda 200, the first one of the year. And it's the Billy Whitaker Cars 200 held at Oswego Speedway. And then a couple weeks after, the Eastern States 200 at Orange County Fair Speedway. Tonight, up to 19 drivers in the Coast to Coast Racing League will get the opportunity to feel what it's like to go for 200 laps around a big block modified. The Steve King Foundation Pace Truck makes its way on the pit road. Folks, we say, where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? Anthony Marano and Justin Haslett bring us to green. It's the Coast to Coast 200 at Oswego Speedway, and we are good to go. Flatline Racing Bodies green flag for the first of our 2 halves, 100 laps before the halfway break, yellow. Off of turn number 4, the Magic Ant-Man Anthony Marano leads lap number 1. Haslett in second, Bachman third, battle for the 4th spot. Schatzer tried to show his nose underneath Scott Rayone, but the 4 able to pull away with some good defense. As we've seen, the track low line dominant here throughout the night. Obviously, with all the cars on track, it will slicken up. First yellow flag waves here, and it's for Jason Butterfield. And something tells me he may have gone out of the ballpark. Drivers agreed in the drivers meeting we had before the racing that if a driver did go out of the ballpark, like this right here, a yellow would wave. Actually, he went upside down. The back of the pack with nobody to help him out. See it right there, he just caught the wall and upside down. Butters went. The steel boilerplate bites him once again. Now, caution laps are counting here in this feature. Drivers wanted to wave, really wanted to wave around, and so that was the case here. The first car lap down to get the easy pass. Of course, there is a 10-lap grace period going into the halfway mark to get back into this race. Again, 15x the limit, 2 quick repairs. I believe that's only during the second half of the feature. First half, there is no limit one bit. Taking a look at how the state of the track is. You see the low line starting to lose some moisture. See if the high side starts to develop a cushion as time progresses here. Joe Canellis checking in. Happy New Year. Rooting for Steve Bixler. And hello to Dean Reynolds. See, it's on beer number 1 tonight. Over, under. Let's put the spread at 4.5, Dino. Where will he go tonight? I think when we had our CRSA banquet, I don't drink alcohol, so I do non-alcoholic beer. I think I had like 4 Bud Zeros the night of. I think 1 beforehand, and then I think 3 after the awards. Set to go back to the green flag here. Anthony Marano, Justin Haslett, your front row. Marano, the control car. He selects the inside line here for this restart. Set to come back to the green flag. Here we go. Bachman trying to grab the second position from Justin Haslett. He's side by side with his teammate for the bottom step of the podium. Bachman to get on the binders a little bit hard. Nearly had no Yago into turn number 3. Who grabs P3 back in the line? It's Scott Rayom. The field all bunched up close to each other. Kinsey hanging on to 5th over Kurt Schatzer for right now. The entire field makes its way into turn number 3. Rayom may have gotten bumped by Sam Bachman. Gave the 007 a chance to take it, but he lets Rayom go. Kinsey now testing out the top of that 639. It's going to work for him, though. We'll have to see. Near contact with Weeda in the 81. Weeda sends his way deep and takes away 6th. Here comes Hunter Grant. Joseph Grandy downstairs on the 639 in the battle for P7. Right on board with Rick Main, who gets a good perspective of this battle. 10 laps complete in the return of the Coast to Coast 200 that started 2 years ago with DW12s at Legacy, Michigan. Back then, the IndyCars were not going to be broadcasted anymore. So as a tribute farewell send-off, we decided a lot of money on the line to put the DW12s at Michigan, and it had phenomenal success. Now it's always either a 200-mile race or a 200-lap race every year to close out the season. Rayom trying to find a way to grab second from that 27 of Justin Haslett. Nothing really working for Slide Job Scotty. Let's take a ride on board with him as the, oh, contact, got the right rear wheel up, and it's 3 wide for the position. A little bit more contact in the back between Weeda and Kinsey. Everybody heads on to it. I don't know how nobody spun out there. But we stay green. Bachman takes advantage and moves up to 3rd. Now decides to test out the middle groove here in that 007. They're on board with him. It may be working for Bachman. We may see some side-by-side racing for a couple of laps here. You see the low line starting to slicken up. Bachman high, wide, and handsome off of turn number 2. Takes away the runner-up spot. And now Haslett trying to fight back. He's stuck between car and jersey barrier, and Rayom moves up to 3rd. It's an all FTM top 3. Morano, Bachman, and Slide Job Scotty at the moment. But now Rayom wants P2 for the 007. Is he going to keep that baby up on the outside? Yes, he does. Rayom up to 2nd, and now he wants the lead on the 32. Rayom's car is on rails right now. They're side by side into turn number 1. And our first lead change of the night if Rayom can secure it across the start-finish line. And that's the case. Scott Rayom is out in front for the first time tonight. Morano and Bachman wheel to wheel off at turn 2 with Justin Haslett watching closely in the back. Look how bumpy this track is starting to get. This is what the drivers wanted tonight, and they are loving it. Especially if you're Scott Rayom. So he was able to get that second groove to work. Haslett probably the highest we've seen a driver go in this feature so far. Trying to grab 3rd spot back for the Magic Ant-Man. That's the case. Now he wants to go 2 for 1 off at turn number 4. Haslett moves up to 2nd past Bachman. Oh, could we go 3 wide here possibly? Morano downstairs, Bachman in the middle. Kurt Schatzer trying to get the top to work. As the lines are pushing up to the top, as Joe Canella said, that's the case. On board with Kurt Schatzer. About 120 miles an hour in the corner as he decides to send it deep on Bachman for 3rd. The two nearly come together. All the drivers know it's a long night ahead, so patience is the name of the game. Especially if you want to be in that second half. You do not want to be losing that car and go 10 laps down or more, because remember, if you're 10 laps behind at the halfway point, you're done. Haslett, meanwhile, underneath on Rayom. I think the 4 let the 27 go to the point, because remember, it's also a name of the game. Saving tires, too, at the same time. because you'll want that right rear sneaker in the final laps of this one. Schatzer sends it deep on Rayom, throws the slider. That takes away P2. And so now we're seeing strategy. Oh, big crash! Joseph Grady up in the air. Same with Mike Weeda. Big one out in turn 2. Caution waves. Second yellow on lap number 23. And this is where you really want to get that car into the pits and use that quick repair to stay on the lead lap. Make sure you don't go 10 laps down. Drivers were really stacking up there in turn number 2. So look here, Morano got sideways. Look at the air time from both Grandy and Weeda. They were bunny hopping there. Let's look from this perspective of Morano. Rayom was lifting there for the looks of it. And then, yeah, Grandy just caught the 32, sent him around. My, oh my. What a wild ride for Mike Weeda on board the 81. Look at the air from Grandy. Holy smokes. So second caution in the coast-to-coast 200. Grandy, Weeda, a couple of other drivers able to use that quick repair. I think all the drivers that were in that accident did not have to tow their car back to the pits, so they are able to stay on the lead lap. So now we're seeing strategy taking place here in this 200 lap feature. Drivers are looking into saving some tires for that late in the first half before we have the halfway break, in which the track is closed for a couple minutes. And we see some drivers, they want to push a little bit early, try and get some track time and move up to the front. So Hazlitt selects the inside line here for this restart. Kurt Schatzer in second, Rayom third, Bachman fourth. Kinsey rounds out the top 5. Hazlitt the control car for this restart. As we're back to green. Hazlitt decided to fire on the green flag instead of going at his own terms. 27 able to hold serve. Now will the high line still be as dominant like it was in that green flag run? We'll have to see. Schatzer in second, Bachman, Rayom side by side for the third position here off the corner. Bachman hangs on to that for right now. Here comes Schatzer, takes a peek underneath on Hazlitt for the race lead. The 27 rips the top up next to the boilerplate in turn number 2. Hazlitt hangs on for now. Schatzer with a small diamond though in turns number 3 and 4. As Hazlitt holds serve, a lot of single file raced amongst the front of the field. First side-by-side battle for P8. That's Grandy and Barker going at it. Barker a little bit sideways there in turn 3, able to catch it. Grandy moves his way up to P8. Schatzer again looks underneath on the 27. Really good on corner entry, but the 27 good on exit. Take a ride on board with Superman. Now he rips the top, trying to get a better exit and set him up underneath here in 1 and 2. That's the case. Schatzer, slide job for the lead. Too much of it. Center the wall goes Superman. Took a risk there early, did not pay off, and now he's fighting for P2. Rayom and Bachman trying to attack. The FTM teammates duking at it for P3. Bachman ripping the top and hangs on to the spot as this tracks. The drivers are starting to feel it get a little bit rough in the corners. Rick Main looking for P5 on Dylan Kinsey. Not working out just yet for the driver of the 180-70s who are on board with them. We don't normally get to see him race modifies. He's a Monday Night Madness regular in the Renegades. Nice to see him come out this evening. For the race lead, Schatzer meanwhile is caught up to Justin Hazlitt once again. Here's a look at the last 5 laps between the two. That was lap 31 when Schatzer threw the slide job, lost some time. Schatzer a 10th better than Justin Haslett at the moment. As this is your battle for the race lead on lap number 35 of this 200 lap feature. All about the feels and where you want to place your car. Again, it's all about strategy and patience in these 200 laps. Do you want to save tires or do you want to go right now? Schatzer's got that feeling he wants to go. Haslett a little bit in a balanced situation right now. This is your best battle, though, on track for the race lead. That last caution should mention, because no drivers had to take a tow, Jason Butterfield was the lucky dog and was able to get one of his 2 laps back. So now Butter's currently 1 lap down at the moment. As the leaders approach a lap track for the first time tonight, that's Steve Bixler. Haslett had to get on the binders for it. Didn't expect the 75 to be that slow. New leader on the track. Superman takes the lead. Kurt Schatzer. Great job by the 218, using him as a pick. And you could easily tell that Steve Bixler was not Kurt Schatzer's kryptonite at the moment. So everyone trying to dodge past the 75 of the mayor. We go to some more racing on track. The battle for 4th. Rayom the better car compared to Kinsey. Rayom's led a couple of laps early here in the going. I think we may have had some issues a couple of moments ago with Christopherson, Bixler, Butterfield, and more. Let's take a look at the replay while we're racing. I think this is why the 75 was so off pace. Bixler just got sideways. Christopherson in the wall. Somehow that was not a yellow. I think that took a lot of drivers in the back that saw that accident off guard. But no iRacing caution. We stay under the green flag. Sam Bachman heads inside. It's time to go to work on the 27 of Haslett. On board with a 007. Downstairs for P2, and now Schatzer may have gone a little bit too high. It's a 3-car garage knob for the race lead. Tucks her back in line. And now tries to diamond turns number 3 and 4. It could work out for him going into turn number 1. Does he look low? Yes, that's the case. Bachman doesn't go for the big scent like Schatzer did earlier, but he does pull up to the doorstop. Side by side for just a moment, nothing working there. Just had a change for position. Back in 7th, Shreves against Grandy. Grandy had it for just a moment, but Shreves with some great defense clears the 518 for right now. This track is starting to get slick and dusty at the same time. Back to P2. Bachman now is swapped up to the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. He may have edged out for P2 at the start-finish line. I'm not too sure, though. Good corner exit from Bachman. Now he tries to pull away from Haslett. Lap number 47 underway here. The gap here for the race lead has been very close all night long. Bachman now trying to reel in that 218 of Kurt Schatzer. Here's a look at the last 5 laps. You can see that Bachman, the better race car per the 5-lap average. He's got the best car on the track clearly as we pull this up. He and Morano each the quickest right now. Bachman looking for that race lead. There is, though, some lap traffic ahead. That's Jason Butterfield in the 93. Schatzer opens up the door for Bachman in 1 and 2, trying to take away his racing line. Good defense from Superman for right now. Your Top two, each have pulled away from Justin Haslett. The delta between first and third at just about 3/4 of a second. Butters lets the 218 go by. Oh, one car off track. That's Molyneux. That should bring out the yellow flag. We'll wait to see. Molyneux got up on 2 wheels, and yes, the yellow does wait for him. Drivers agreed on that if a driver was considered going off track and automatically jumped to the pits, they would throw a yellow flag out. You just got to call it out, and that's the case. Great call there. Let's go back. Let's go back to this in slow motion, and we'll rewind this for you. Nope, he just got a little bit too much of the Jersey barrier or the boilerplate, and out of the ballpark it was considered, which that easily would not have been. So our third caution waves this evening, gives the chance for those drivers that were involved in that phantom, in that fake caution. I don't know, you could say fake caution, the one that iRacing did not trigger. Able to get back to the pits, get a quick repair on their car, and get back out onto the racetrack. Dino said he did that on lap 4 in the 802 league. Deja vu at it once again. Free pass goes to Steve Bixler. He'll get the wave around as we are a quarter of the way through the Coast to Coast 200. Lights are off. We'll go green this time by Schatzer, the race leader, and Superman deciding I'll take the outside here. First time tonight we've seen a driver pick the top lane. Sam Bachman inside of him. Row number 2, Justin Haslett and Scott Rayholm. Dylan Kinsey, Rick Main, row 3. Randy Shreves and Joseph Grandy, row 4. Rounding out your top 10, Butch Baker and Anthony Morano. We're set here for the restart. Schatzer the control car as we come to lap 55. We're going to watch this restart from the aerial shot.
Green flag, green flag.
Schatzer able to hold serve around the outside, but Bachman may have better tires and may have cooled them off to not let him seal. Good battle for third as Rayholm trying to get it, but he gets into the wall. Haslett hangs on for P3. 3 wide for fourth. Rayholm on the wall once again. Lost a ton of time. Gave up a couple of positions to Dylan Kinsey and Rick Main. For the lead, here comes Bachman. Downstairs on the 218 of Schatzer. Again, Schatzer using that racing line and able to hold serve for right now. Here's the race for fourth. Main, Kinsey, Rayholm, and a couple of other drivers. Look at Morano. After he was involved in the second yellow this evening, a nice recovery for him. He's up to 8th. See if the Magic Hammock moves for some. Remember, he's on the line that he loves. Back to fourth. Kinsey and Main, I think they may have touch going down the back chute. They may have, possibly. Just have to see. Morano for 6th on Rayholm. Easy money for the 32. Main holding down the preferred line with the state of this track at the moment. DK underneath. Nope, he can't get that to work right now. Morano has 6th of the line. Rayholm still trying to fight back. On board with the Magic Ant-Man, he's following his teammate DK. Look at the handful he's got going on right now in that 32. Kind of makes me glad that I'm not a driver in this one this evening. When this track is slicking off, Morano goes where nobody else goes, and chances are likely that it works. Downstairs for 5th, he may go for the game R2 for 1 discount. Can he take 4th from Rick Main? Possibly, not right now. Let's go back up to the front. Schatzer still dealing with the front end of Sam Bachman. Great race going on for the top spot. Bachman looks underneath here on the 218 for the lead. Could not get a good corner exit. I wonder if Bachman going to try and set up 3 and 4 for 1 and 2. Stays right there on that Lexan spoiler. Schatzer defense shuts the door. Now remember, the virtual mirror turned on here for the drivers this evening. As it always is, some drivers like to race without it for the simulation realist activity. These two have put on a phenomenal battle in the opening laps, whether it be for the lead, whether it be for a podium spot, whether it be outside of that. And it's been fun to watch. Let's go back to 5th, where ever since we took the last drop of the green flag, Maine and Kinsey have been putting on a clinic. I feel like they've been side by side for all of these laps right now. Maine just can't clear DK just yet. And the caution waves here once again. We got Butch Baker sideways. That is in turn 3. Just minding his P's and Q's. Ooh, did he catch the Jersey Bear? Yes, I think he did. We'll have to ride on board. We'll have the better angle to see on that. But nevertheless, though, a good save not to loop that car around. Oh, yeah. I think he just locked up the brakes to avoid hitting the car in front. And with the slow rate of speed he was going, that triggered the caution flag. Free pass should go to Jason Butterfield here. So we'll rack him and stack him up once again. Good start to tonight here. Let us know what you're thinking about it. First of 2 endurance shows this week. Tomorrow night we will see also a fun one, a Huset's 100 lap feature, and I believe we're doing that with the 360 sprint, if I recall correctly. So make sure you tune in for all the festivities tomorrow night on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I believe Shaggy will have the broadcast for you. Dino, I just saw the picture you just sent me. You're at Tully's. Bring me some buffalo tenders, please. Here we go as we come back to the green flag once again. 30 laps until the halfway break / competition caution.
Green, green, green.
Schatzer decides to go on the green flag once again. And look at this, Justin Hazlitt trying to take that inside line advantage, but look at Anthony Morano! 3 wide for second off the corner. Boy, that is a gutsy move, and that is a car that is on rails once again. And that white and aqua machine. I think Hazlitt got third at the line by a nose. but Murano may have the best car on the racetrack. You look at that 5-lap average. We'll get it to you in a couple of laps from now. When we hit lap 75, we'll show you. A little bit of that low line may give away here. Hazlitt may take the third spot back from that 32. Stack up mid-pack with Brandy. Shreve's all over him for P6. Look at this 3 wide mid-pack. Christofferson looking underneath on Rick May. That Scott Rayon may counter it back. He's down to 11th. I wonder if he decided to take tires on that last stint, possibly. Didn't check to see if anyone came down pit road during that last time. Bachman, meanwhile, has decided to switch underneath on Schatzer for the lead. Murano's got P3, but again, look at that 32 closely. Remember, this is just lap 76. There's a lot of racing left to go, boys. 3 wide for the lead. Bachman in the middle had a chance, and Schatzer hangs on for now. But watch out, the Magic Ant-Man saying, hold my champagne off for 4. He's got second at the line. Couldn't slot there in front of that 007, had Schatzer right next to him. Will he keep her on the bottom? Bachman kisses the wall. Could allow Hazlitt to go for P3. Gives him plenty of room. Kinsey up there as well. Ooh, Bachman in the wall once again. See, he's got some right side damage, but hey, I don't think aero really matters here in dirt racing unless it's a sprint car. Murano tried that time for the lead, just did not work out. A good idea from the 5-lap average. Murano clearly the much faster race car at the moment compared to the 218. Let's go back to this race for 7. Shreves, Barker, Christofferson. They have put on a good one. On board with that 513. Shreves up on the wall. Christofferson with the momentum. Barker may have had to lift. Near contact between the two. And they're still 3 wide in turn 3. Here comes Murano, though, off at turn number 2. They're still wheel to wheel down the back. Can Murano take the lead at the start-finish line? We've had a couple of lead changes so far this evening. I don't think we'll have one here just yet. Schatzer's got him cleared. Under 20 laps from the halfway break. Even when they're side by side like this, they are pulling away from third place Sam Bachman. Ooh, a nice drive through the 3 and 4. As long as Schatzer does not hit the wall, he'll have the lead at the line. One mistake, Murano will pounce. But 1 and 2 has been the best for the Magic Ant-Man today. Mason Hine, meanwhile, is taking the number 89 onto pit road. New leader, the 32 of Anthony Murano. Started on pole, remember, was involved in that second yellow after fading a little bit strategy-wise, but now Schatzer may be starting to fade. A little bit too much into the cushion. Here comes Bachman for P2. Can the 007 take her across the line in that runner-up spot? Not yet. But Murano is running away from the cops at the moment. 15 to go in our first half. Schatzer holding serve. Here comes Hazlitt for P3. Haven't talked about him yet in this battle. He's just been hoping for a second and third wreck. Now slider from Hal. Oh, Bachman and Schatzer both catch the wall. Hazlitt has to left. Here comes Dylan Kinsey. Schatzer in the wall once again. Again, that car may be starting to fade. It's helped out Morano increase the lead up to 1.1 seconds. Bachman may have to consider moving down to the bottom. Because if it's easy for Schatzer to clip the wall nearly like that once again, it could allow Bachman to pounce. And the wall goes to the 007 though. Hazlitt up to P3. Here comes though Dylan Kinsey closing in on the 27, the 007, and the 218. Ten to go until the halfway break. What a pass from Schatzer, or what a defense from Schatzer to hang on to that runner-up spot. Oh, Schatzer with the wall. Bachman for second. He's got it. Again, there's that mistake. One mistake from Schatzer, and Bachman pounces. But he goes up in the wall. Hazlitt to P2. It's 3 wide for third. Oh, baby, this is good stuff. Couple of drivers have decided to head to the pits. As you see Hazlitt get in the wall so they can get ready for the second half. Steve Bixler is pulled up, but he's completed 90 laps in this one, so he'll be eligible to race the rest of to race in the second half. I believe that's the case. We'll have to see, though. Bachman underneath on Hazlitt for second. After the 007 caught the wall just a couple moments ago. Five to go until the competition caution, where drivers can get a 3-minute rest break. And we can tell you now, by the way, Bixler has made his way back out on the racetrack, and he's letting the leaders go by on the outside. Meanwhile, Morano's had the biggest lead anyone has had tonight at 2.8 seconds. We still watch the battle for second position between the 27 and the 007. There is always something to watch at Super Dirt Week in the Billy Whitaker Cars 200. The Coast to Coast 200 is showing the exact same thing as we're 3 away, coming to 2 away from the halfway break. Hazlitt, oh, got up in the wall for just a second, but may have helped him out. Hazlitt underneath with a crossover. Oh boy, they nearly come to blows. Final lap underway here. You want a good starting spot for the second half because it seems like with the way this track is, track position means everything. Christopherson, Schatzer battling for 5th to the end. So much good racing coming to the halfway break. Anthony Morano leads lap number 100. And so the caution flag will fly. And as you see the running order update, we'll go to break. Stay with us. Second half coming up next on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We are back here at the Oswego Speedway as we are ready for the second half of the Coast to Coast Racing League 200. Anthony Morano taking the first half after coming back from being involved in the second caution. Joe Canellis brought up perfectly. Morano was in 11th. I walk away and come back. He's moving into first. That is pretty funny. That's for sure. So. But track has been is closed for the drivers, so we let the track cool down. I've seen this track so far. You can see it right here from turn number 3. It is brilliant. This track has come together. We're seeing phenomenal racing. What is it going to provide us for this second half? We will just have to wait and find out, see what happens. So just making sure that the right drivers are the drivers that are not eligible for the second half, that they do not come on in. Top 16 drivers you see on your screen are allowed to race in the second half. 17th on back. We're over the 10-lap grace period and thus are not eligible to race the rest of this one. Just waiting for Bachman and Grandy, then we should be good to go. And there are our 16. We are set to go for the second half of this one. And here is how the field is lining up. Full field rundown. Anthony Morano leads. Sam Bachman second. Justin Haslett third. Dylan Kinsey fourth. Clay Christopherson fifth. Kurt Schatzer sixth. Joseph Grandy seventh. Randy Shreves in eighth. Scott Rail ninth. Jeff Barker 10th. Butch Baker 11th. Rick Main in 12th. Mike Weida 13th. Jason Butterfield 14th. Bud Molyneux 15th. Steve Bixler 16th. Mason Hine, Brian Dickens, Gary Sigelcow were over the 10-lap limit and are out of the race. Should mention as well with the when we brought out the yellow for Bud Molyneux because he went out of the ballpark, that was only for the first half. Second half, I believe that will not be the case as we're now in the second half of this race. We don't need to move over to another session. Morano back in the field up to fire, I believe, on his own terms. If not, he's going to fire Oswego Speedway asphalt style. Morano and Bachman set to bring us to green for the second half of the Coast to Coast 200. It's underway once again. 100 down, 100 to go. The Flatline Racing Bodies green flag waves for the second half of our 200-lap feature. A couple of drivers getting up in the wall, a little bit tight up the racetrack. Middle of the pack, but it's Morano that continues to lead with Bachman second, Haslett third, Kinsey fourth, and Schatzer rounding out the top five. Schatzer's got company though from Pup by Clay Christopherson, who was quiet in that first half. The car came to life in the final laps before we had the cross flags go up in the air. Schatzer nearly up on the wall once again, led early in that race. That car was starting to fade. He needed a yellow flag badly. Now, because we are now in officially per iRacing feature mode, this is where we start to see the 15x incident limit. The 2 quick repair rule come to life. Morano having some internet issues. All is good on his end. Kinsey yet to be on a podium spot tonight. Has a chance for it now. Downstairs on Haslett for the third spot. get side by side that time. Tries to show his nose underneath. Does he have it in him? Meanwhile, you've got Bachman challenging Morano, the 32, still with internet issues. Could make things a little bit interesting on if they get side by side. Back to third. Good bite on corner X from Kinsey, leading on the 27. This is some good stuff right here, folks. D. King hanging on. Third spot is his. How about Jeff Barker? He started in the 10th spot in the second half of this feature. He is up to 6th. A great run right now for Korynta Beast. Kinsey still trying to grab third for that number 27. Stick you on board with Christofferson. Can't really get the best view because of the dust. But he's got a good perspective of those drivers side by side. Sam Bachman just last lap. Quickest lap of the second half of this feature at a 20:06. Nice run by him at the moment. Kinsey wants the third spot. Can't Hazlitt able to clear. All right, some other races on the track. Scott Rayome started 9th in the second half. Trying to grab 8th from Randy Shreves. Peeks the nose downstairs. Now we're starting to see as well the strategy in this second half come to life, because this is when it matters most. Do you want to be saving or do you want to be leading? Gonna push or save is the question. How badly do you want to be up front when it matters most? In the final laps of the Coast to Coast 200, we just saw Rayome try and send it in with a slider on Randy Shreves. The 56 hanging on to P8. Jeff Barker has closed in on Clay Christofferson in the race for 5th. Kinsey still has not found his way past Hazlitt for the 3rd spot. Remember, we saw Morano pull away to that 2.2 second lead at halftime. Bachman has stayed behind him this entire race so far. They're the two best cars on the racetrack. In fact, Morano's up 2.6 on Hazlitt as things stand. Top 5 spots currently remain unchanged. Here goes Kinsey with a look for 3rd. Hazlitt's got the spot at the line though. Hazlitt hanging on for right now. We got a change of position here. Rayome trying to grab that 8th spot from Randy Shreves. Is it his off of 2? Not yet. They stay side by side in the center of the corner. Rayome had a good start to this feature, led early. But once he lost the lead, that car was starting to fade back just a little bit. I think he's playing that strategy to save. A lot of drivers very close to each other. Battle for the lead, battle for the 3rd spot. Kinsey still trying to take it from the 27 of Hazlitt. If only we had 2 computers so we could double box all the action for you. It has been a treat to watch here tonight. Kinsey not giving up one bit on Hazlitt for P3. He has been trying everything. He's thrown everything but the kitchen sink at the 27. Everything but the kitchen sink and a slide job. With the way the track is slicking up, that may be what it takes to grab a position here. I hope Hazlitt's tires start to fade because obviously at halftime, all the drivers' tires were able to reset. All the fuel was topped off. We'll see what happens here. 80 laps to go in the Coast to Coast 200. Good three-man race for 6. Jeff Barker's got company all around from Shreve, Schatzer, even Scott Rayome. Remember, Schatzer led some laps early in this one. Man, Rayome nearly caught the bumper of his. That was a close call. Remember, we saw Schatzer leading early, then he lost the lead after he used up his tires. Canales is maybe thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Maybe he is saving his tires until the end of the feature. Jeff Barker, I think, may have caught the Jersey barrier in turn number 1. Shot up the racetrack for a second. Could give Shreves an opportunity to take a spot away. Just have to see what goes down. Let's go back to third. Kinsey, the closest he's been to taking the spot away from the 27 of Hazlitt. Oh, but Hazlitt's just oh so good on corner exit. Now the leaders have approached lap traffic for the first time. Remember, this second half has been green the entire way through. Drivers just put a lap down on Bud Molyneux. Next man from Murano is Steve Bixler. In fact, the 32s also opened up some leeway. 3/4 of a second on the 007. Is this Kinsey's off for 4? No, it's not. Still Hazlitt's. How about it going here into turn number 1? Shreves may have had it at the line. Oh, Schatzer through the bumper at Jeff Barker. Randy Shreves says, thank you, Superman. I'll take the spot. Oh, one driver sideways. That's Rayome. I think there may have been a contact from the bumper of Rick Mayne, but Rayome able to catch it. A lot of wild stuff going down here, and now look at this. Molyneux in the wall, 3 wide for that 3rd spot. Kinsey was trying to use Molyneux as a pick. Ooh, best chance for Kinsey to take 3rd the line. Oh, I think Hazlitt got him still. Oh my. This is phenomenal, and this is for the bottom step of the podium. Remember, top 5 are paying out money here tonight. Winner gets 100, second 50, third 25, fourth 20, fifth gets 10. And all with the option of keeping or donating to charity. So Shreves was able to get past Jeff Barker. Next target, Clay Christopherson, who's a second in front. Remember, that's Bud Molyneux, who's lapped down that 883, currently eligible for the wave around. Oh my! Barker just keeps getting so tight in turn 1. That time he nearly doored Randy Shreves there. And they are still 3 wide. Molyneux not getting out of the way, and now Barker's got the spot back. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! No yaw in the corner for Rayome. I thought it for a moment. He was about to yeet Kurt Schatzer there. So Barker used Molyneux as the pick. Got back up to the 6th position. Near contact between Schatzer and Rayome. Oh man, this is heavy in turn number 2. This is the Peloton pack, you could consider it. This battle for 3rd still. Hazlitt's found his way back up to 3rd. Oh my goodness. It feels like they've been side by side for 33 laps. This has been outstanding so far. Let's go back here where the trouble spot could brew. Oh man, that was Schatzer up on that cushion, that rear end. You could easily see off the ground for just a little bit. And now Kinsey trying to use Bixler as a pick. They bang! But somehow the 639 was able to clear Justin Hazlitt. Steve Bixler now the wave around car, not what Bud Molyneux wanted to hear at that moment. Rayom and Schatzer still wheel to wheel for the 8th spot. You saw Schatzer send it deep a little bit on the outside groove. All still working out well, though, for Anthony Morano, who has led this entire second half so far. Now this could get interesting. This Peloton pack has caught the mayor. Barker in the Jersey barrier. Schatzer could take advantage of it. 4 wide into turn 1 for just a second. How did nobody wreck there? Oh, my. This is absolutely insane. And Shreves cannot get the spot from Jeff Barker just yet on board the 56. Look at this track. Drivers using every inch of the Clay Palace here tonight. Caution! Schatzer stuck in the fence in turn number 2. First yellow of the second half comes on lap 40, lap 140. And Schatzer will have to use a tow. That may take him out of the run of the 200. Yeah, just caught the wall and the cushion. The driver who led early in this one is now done, and he had to use the tow there. And apparently we are hearing Butch Baker also tow. Look at this for Schatzer. All 4 wheels off the ground. He had to use it. Something happened with Baker too. Oh, he got put out. The bulb iRacing forced him out in turn 2. And I think that was after the yellow flag flew, a couple seconds afterwards. So that is a heartbreak for both of them. Schatzer has called it a night. A heartbreak end to the 218, who had such a good performance in the first half of the Coast to Coast 200. Baker using the tow, free pass to Steve Bixler. Bixler may have actually called it a night too. So will the free pass go to Molyneux here potentially? He's the first driver a lap down. I don't think they'll give it to him. I think they've turned the lights off. Yes, we are 1 to green this time. So, lap 142 of 200. Dean says we need a welding torch to get Schatzer. All right, lap 142 of 200. First yellow of the second half. I believe the 5th one overall tonight, if not the 4th. Morano, Bachman, Kinsey, Hazlitt, Christofferson. Your top 5 as we're ready to come back to the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
Morano able to hold serve. Kinsey trying to grab 3rd this time from the 27 of Hazlitt. I don't think he's able to do so though. Hazlitt nearly clips the wall. Look how close he was rim riding the boilerplate. That helped him out get 3rd spot. But now we're about to see the Kinsey Hazlitt show. Door to door once again. Now could Christofferson or even Shreves play a factor? With that long run finished up, could that give the 2 possibilities to close in? But because of how much side-by-side racing they were doing, they may have used up a little tire early there. We'll just have to see. Ooh, Rayom got in the binders there, nearly rear-ended Jeff Barker. Forces him to get side-by-side with Maine for 8th. Christofferson In trouble for fifth. Shreves on the longer racing line. Good corner exit from Randy. Started 8th in the second half of this one. Is the spot is off for turn number 4. Yes, it is. Shreves up to 5th. Next target, either Kinsey or Hazlitt. However, though, don't want to do that if you're Randy, as he caught the wall. He stays side by side. Didn't really lose too much. Jeff Barker trying to be a factor in this, too. Shreves with 5th at the stripe. Back to 3rd. Hazlitt's got Kinsey cleared for now. We get another long run just like we did. Will Kinsey have a chance for 3rd? He'll likely need some lap traffic to have that happen. Christopherson staying there with Randy Shreves. Next time by will be 3/4 of the way through the Coast to Coast 200, the first one on dirt, and I believe the first time in Coast to Coast history there's been a 200-lap big block feature. 150 laps are complete, 50 laps remain. Anthony Morano the leader over his teammate Sam Bachman. Morano started on pole, led early, involved in the second yellow, came back, took the win in the first half. But he's got his teammate Sam Bachman behind him, who has also led for part of this race too. This has also been fun to watch all second half. Kinsey and Hazlitt have just stayed side by side, nobody giving up. Hazlitt able to clear. He's not giving up there. Christopherson not giving up on Randy Shreves as the 56 car has the preferred line. Once again, I'll say it earlier, if only we had the double box, because it has been an excellent night of racing here at the virtual Oswego Speedway. And some of the drivers will get to do it in a mini stock on week 5 on a Sunday in a 360 non-wing car. Week 5 will take place at Oswego with the small blocks and the big blocks on January 16th. So for some of the drivers here, it could actually be a little bit of a tune-up session. Although that feature is 30 laps and not the normal 200, not the crazy 200. Shreves may have made a mistake that last time through. Christopherson, can he have 3rd spot at the line? Oh man, that was thousandths off, but look at this. Scott Rayo midside. Howdy partners, I want to put my hat into the fold. Working lap number 158 of 200. Christopherson trying to go where the moisture is, trying to pick up every inch of it. Has 5th spot, could the 51 car start to come to life here? Can he close in on Hazlitt and Kinsey, who are 1.3 seconds off? Meanwhile, ever since this restart, Morano has held Bachman by about 2-3 car lengths. 41 laps remain. Battle for the lead, battle for 3rd, battle for 5th. Great stuff going here at Oswego. Another look at the 5-lap average. Who is the much better race car at the moment? Right now it's the Magic Ant-Man, but you cannot count out Kinsey. That low line working pretty swell for him. But Hazlitt, since this green flag run, has been flawless up on the cushion in that number 27. Christopherson, Scott Shreves cleared for 5th. Slide job, Scotty's come in looking for 6th on the 56. The 56 car. He's starting to fade out here possibly. I would like to look at whoever is the 3rd place car and see if they're actually closing in on Sam Bachman. Bachman's been faster in 3 out of the last 5 laps. And now this time it's this battle for 3rd that have closed in 3 of the last 5. So that's been going back and forth, a little bit of even laps. The delta between Bachman and Hazlitt is about 1.1 seconds. That gap just about virtually identical in the past few frames. But it's still Anthony Morano, defending Thursday Night Thunder Dominator. Won the 358 in Big Block Championships in the fall season. 35 laps away from possibly the biggest win in his coast-to-coast career, a 200-lap feature. Leaders are approaching lap traffic. That's Butch Baker in the 97. He came out of the pits just as they were taking the green flag. So that's something to keep in mind. Hazlitt still with that 3rd spot. Kinsey so good on corner exit. Hazlitt, on corner entrance. Hazlitt much better on exit. Morano and Bachman have each found their way past Butch Baker, who was a couple laps down in the 14th spot. Remember, went out of the ballpark as that last caution was underway. This is the closest battle we are watching. Ooh, Baker though in the wall, now with a side-by-side for 3rd. This could help out Kinsey. Watch this closely. You saw Hazlitt have to alter his line. Kinsey didn't. But Hazlitt back on the cushion. Who's got 3rd here? I think it's the 639. If he slides up, he could get P3. There's a $5 difference for 3rd. 3rd place 25, 4th place 20 here this evening. 30 laps to go, make it 29. A full modified feature in coast to coast. Now remember, the setup was altered so drivers would have maximum fuel in the race cars. Will saving be an issue tonight is the question. Jason Butterfield just had issues in 1 and 2. No caution, we stay green. Hazlitt's still there right on the money for that 3rd spot. And he's got it with 27 remaining. The 2nd closest battle on track, Christopherson and Rayom. That's kind of a similar story to what Kinsey's trying to do. Rayom trying to look downstairs, but this time, the 51 point in the block. And don't forget, these guys are FTM teammates. back up to that race for P3. A look from the aerial shot. And you can truly see the difference in corner exit compared to corner entrance. Look how much better Kinsey is there on the entry, but on the exit, Hazlitt just gets back on the power a whole lot better. Morano, meanwhile, has increased the lead 0.7 of a second on Sam Bachman. Caution flag waves Butch Baker. And that may do it for his night. And so this stacks the field up. Our next restart should come with just about 20 laps to go. This is what did not bring the caution out. Why was Jason Butterfield off the pace? Got into Jeff Barker, up in the wall, off the speed, was able to keep it straight, so no yellow flag for that. But this is the cause of caution. Did he do the same thing? Nope, he just lost it in turn 2 into the Jersey barrier. Rick may have to take evasive action on board with the 97. Can't be using any power in the middle of the track like that, especially with how slick this track has gotten. Now this is where things are going to get interesting. As you see, Molyneux takes the free pass. Did anyone that saved tires, are they going to power their way up to the front? We're probably in right now the witching hour of the 200. Wins can become losses, and losses can become wins. Remember the top 5 in the payout. Hang on a second. This is, why is Jeff Barker? Hang on. We come back to the green flag. Morano able to hold serve. Bachman second. Here comes Kinsey underneath on Hazlitt. 3 wide for that bottom step of the podium. With 19 laps to go. We'll let you enjoy this one.
Yeah, you need. I'll call that.
All right, so having a little bit of a technical difficulty right now at the moment. Jeff Barker is not the race leader. I think we were having an issue with live timing or a black flag clear wave around, and it's saying Barker's the leader. We got trouble in the back. Rick Mayne in the wall along with Jason Butterfield. And so now Barker goes off the pace. He'll let the leaders go by, and so Morano, the race leader, more trouble. Butters around in turn 2. He pulls it in, done for the night. Once more, the battle for that 3rd spot. Breaking out, Kinsey side by side with Hazlitt. Christopherson been as close as he's been to trying to get a podium spot. And he's following his teammate to try and work with him and get past Hazlitt. Don't know if it'll get the job done. It'll have to take a mistake, and we may have just seen a mistake there with Hazlitt. He kissed the wall in the center of 3 and 4 for just a split second. He nearly did that once again. Now Christopherson has swapped to the outside. Is he going to try and get up close and personal with that 27 and try and help Kinsey get by? Possibly try and force that 27 into making a mistake? Just have to see here. This has been an amazing battle. But meanwhile, up front, when Anthony Morano comes across the line, he'll have completed 190 laps, 10 laps to go in the Coast to Coast 200, and what's been a dominating performance for the driver of the Full Throttle Motorsports number 32. But this has been the battle in the second half everyone's been talking about. Dylan Kinsey, Justin Hazlitt, now enter Clay Christopherson in the picture, 3 wide of the exit of 2 for a second. Clay trying to pounce. Did he save enough tires compared to the other two? The 51 car is up to the 4th spot. I believe that's the highest he's been this evening. And now he wants 3rd from Justin Hazlitt. Clay's car has come to life at the right time. Putt-putt playing it safe in the early portions of this one. And now trying to shoot under par, 8 laps to go. Christopherson up to the 3rd spot. I think he may have secured it at the line. And he's got that 27 clear. The tires so much better on the 51 than they are on the 27. He's got him clear. Meanwhile, with 7 laps remaining, Morano leads Bachmann by a half second. And the Afterjets have turned on the 32. And he has not had to go to the top one bit this evening. The low side has had to come to life for him. And it's worked out very, very well. This battle is now turned into a battle for 4th, in which Kinsley and Hazlitt have been side by side in what feels like an eternity for the two drivers. And it's coming down to the final 5 laps for 4th position. Can Hazlitt catch back up to that 51, though, is the question. We'll have to see. 4 laps to go in the Coast to Coast 200. It's been all FTM, and they've got a good chance to lock out the podium. 3 laps to go for Anthony Morano. Bachmann tried to send it in deep there on his teammate, and he closed it in just a little bit. I don't want to say it's over because it's not over. 2 sticks in the air by Barney the flagman. 2 laps to go. Will it be Morano's night in a dominant effort, or will Bachmann steal it and double his money from 50 to 100 bucks? Here they come off of turn number 4. And what's been a phenomenal night of the Coast to Coast 200. There is 1 lap remaining, and this man has put a dominant show from after being involved in the second caution. Anthony Morano in the Full Throttle Motorsports, number 32. It's been the longest modified rated race of his career through turns number 3 and 4. Anthony Morano is a winner of the Coast to Coast 200 at the Oswego Speedway. Bachmann second, Christopherson third, Kinsey in a hard-fought battle, takes it from fourth over Hazlitt. But the Magic Ant-Man ends out on top. He wins at the Clay Palace at the home of Super Dirt Week. As we pull up the results on your screen and show you where everybody finished. What a way to close out 2024. Happy Magic New Year for the driver of the 32. Here comes Kinsey to come in with his congratulations. We will talk to your top three as soon as they come into the room. If you're logging off here, we wish you all a happy new year, and don't forget we are back here tomorrow night for the special 100 lap race at Houston Speedway, the final race of the Dagen Korynta Memorial. That is with open 360s at Houston, so don't miss out on that. I think the FTM team is all excited. I think they may have forgotten to hop in the Discord. So, but I mean, look at this track at the end. The drivers have used just about, no, looking at it in the corners. Come on, let's move Scenic around. Don't make me turn on the Xbox controller again. There you go. The drivers used every single inch of the corners here at the Oswego Speedway. Absolutely sensational. All right, we've got your top three. And let's bring them on in here. And we'll talk with third place Clay Christopherson. Clay, your car came to life in those final laps, surprising Kinsey and Hazlitt. Were you just saving tires in that early set of the second half?
Yeah, I was. Yes and no. I was running it a little bit to kind of keep up with the field. I didn't want to get a couple seconds behind, but more or less I was kind of going easy on it, exploring at the same time, just to kind of get a different feel for the track. And I found that all the way down at the bottom, like very, very bottom on 2, was just a rocket ship. 3 and 4, everyone kind of had the same line roughly, but 1 and 2, there was a lot of passing.
What'd you think of this race as a whole? It seemed like once we saw that transition from, a tacky track to a slick track, the race would turn out phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it's a blast. I've done a couple of these now, and there's a reason why I do them every single time. They're just a blast. The first race is kind of exploring. You don't have to I didn't worry about position too much. I think I finished 10th or something, but I started almost last. First race was kind of exploring and seeing what the track was going to do, see how everyone else is doing on the track, and just kind of learn from them and get ready for the second race.
Well, great run for you. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
You for putting this on and promoting it. That was awesome of you. All the guys at FTM and Swan Speed shot for 358 and big block setups.
One more question for you. $25. Would you like to keep that? Would you like to donate it to charity?
I think I'll take this one. I need to catch up off Christmas.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, I will be texting you on Messenger in just a little bit, so stay tuned for a text from me after we get done, all right?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Alrighty, Clay Christopherson, third place finisher here at the Coast to Coast 200. Let's go to the man that finished in second spot, Sam Bachman. Sam, you had a good chance there with Morano there in the second half, hanging on to him, but just faded out a little bit in the end, but you didn't give up. How'd you feel about the race tonight?
I felt pretty good that second half, that's for sure. car was really hooked up on the bottom. I was just trailing the brake a little bit, trying to follow Anthony and try to stay up with him because I felt like it was going to be a long race, and I was kind of surprised that there was only 2 cautions, but I felt like I found something towards the end. Probably like 10 laps ago, I was kind of slattering up in 1 and 2, hitting the tack, and it was just a little bit faster, but I felt like it would have been pretty hard to pass when I got up to him.
Was it also a case of going in a little bit deeper too at the same time?
Oh yeah, I was trying to get down as low as I could to the wall, and then try to get the car as straight as possible when I was coming out, and then 1 and 2, I mean, you just gotta try to keep that left rear in that attack.
So a $50 winning for, yes, a $50 winning for second place. What will we be doing with it? Are we gonna keep it or go to charity?
I'll donate half.
Alrighty, so that'll be 25 going towards the childhood cancer charity, and 25 for you then. Who do you want to give shout outs to on the run?
All the boys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, Dean over at Super Dark Car Series, Expert Installation, Marty, you for broadcasting and putting this event on for us, and Coast to Coast.
Well, great job tonight. Congratulations. After I get done with the broadcast, stay tuned for a text from me on either Messenger or on Discord. Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Sam Bachman, your second place finisher here this evening. Now we go over to Victory Lane and talk to your winner, Anthony Morano, the Magic Ant-Man in the 32. You just won a 200-lap race, man. How's it feel?
I'm tired and sore, bud. My arms and shoulders, my wrists they're a little whooped up.
There's only 3 races like these in real life, and brother, you just got one done on iRacing, man. So, man, oh man, take me through how this race car was, not just in the second half, but also going back to the first half after you got involved in that accident. The track came to the way you wanted on the bottom, just like it always does at a bunch of these other tracks. You got the lead and didn't look back.
Yeah, I was just, after whatever happened, I ran, maybe a couple laps back on the top and just stuck to the bottom and, real patient with the throttle and saved tires and just that's all it was. And everyone was up there banging up on the cushion and the bottom was wide open. So I just kept rolling it and got up there. And that was my whole goal, was to try to get to where I can start the second race in the top 5 so I can try to maneuver my way there and try to set the pace. And I was only half to 3/4 throttle coming out of the corners all the way down the straightaway. Except for that last restart, for some stupid reason, I stood on the gas and spun the tires like crazy. I was like, oh, that was real smart. But luckily for me, Sam had actually spun the tires too. So it worked out, but definitely wasn't part of the plan. So, yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. We all appreciate you putting the show on for us.
Sam nearly gave you a close call in the final laps of that one.
Yeah, he went up and started on the slider line, and he was about a 10th faster lap. He was saying there when we were sitting there waiting in the waiting room, he was turning 7s. I was still hitting 8s on the bottom. But he said with the lines we were running, if he was going to go through that slider line going into a corner, he would have been tagging me in the rear. So it works out. I mean, we had a lot of fun. I think we got top 4 there. Me, Clay, Sam got second, and I think Dylan got 4th. So I think Scott got 6th. So we'll definitely take that as a team and move forward there and keep carrying this momentum we've had here.
Well, $100. You took the top prize this evening. Let me ask you this. Are we keeping it or are we donating it to charity?
We'll be keeping this one.
You'll be keeping that one? Alrighty. Well, a great run for you. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, for letting me come on here on New Year's Eve doing this. The boys over there at FTM, try to put on the best show we can here when we come run coast to coast. I think we do a pretty good job and make the broadcast as interesting as possible with everybody here. It was a nice, clean race. I think we had 1, maybe 2 cautions in the second half and 3 in the first half. That's pretty impressive. All the guys out there did a hell of a job tonight. Like Dean at Super Dirt Car, Logan over at High Mom Lens, Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Expert Installation, Castleberry Flagstone, MDI-TV, GripPack.com, Bowman's Designs. Marty, again, you for putting a show up for us to come run, and everyone at Coast to Coast that's helping out.
Well, congratulations on the win. A job well done, man. Stay tuned for a message after I get done with the broadcast on either Messenger or Discord. But Happy New Year to you, man. And we'll talk to you again on next Monday.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year's, buddy.
Well done for Anthony Morano. And I think he just brought it up as well with, like, what, I think 5 cautions in this race combined for both halves. It's pretty impressive. All the drivers here tonight should be proud of themselves. This was a lot of side-by-side action, especially when the track started slicking up, and a lot of clean racing, too. All the drivers here should be proud of their efforts here tonight. So, with that being said, we will bid adieu for the 2024 season. A reminder, Shaggy's back with you for the rest of the week. He has got the Husitz 100-lap feature for 360s tomorrow night for the final race of the Dagen Korynta Memorial. And then we're back to our regularly scheduled programming on Thursday. So thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great New Year with you and your others. On behalf of the Coast to Coast Racing League, Roger Craig, all the fine drivers, sponsors, and admins, Marty Scala saying so long. Thanks for joining us for the Coast to Coast 200. Anthony Morano takes the win at the Oswego Speedway. So long. Happy New Year.